Hello, welcome to the final module of week 2 for spreadsheet package for data analytics. In this video, we would talk about data visualization and reporting. So, as a data analyst, it's important to understand the skills and the tools you need for data visualization, and you should gain a good skills of reporting your data or your analysis. Excuse me. And well, it's important to also note that data can become nearly useless if it doesn't make sense to audience, right? So numbers and percentages become meaningful when they are presented through data visualization, right? Now, if you've ever looked at data in a spreadsheet and struggled to understand what all the numbers meant, then you will understand the power of visualization. And that is why we spend hours in boardroom analyzing a third page report. Oh, why would you spend hours in a boardroom analyzing a third page report when all the information can be conveyed in a 30-minute visual presentation? So, based on this motivation, we will be talking about how to put two or more charts together in a place in a kind of systematic format to tell a story of your data, and that is what we refer to as a dashboard. So we want to see how to build an dashboard or interactive visualization using Google Sheets. All right. Before we go further, you need to know some tips for building such interactive visualization. The first point is understanding your audience. Now, before you start building your visualization, it's important to understand who will be using it and what they hope to gain from it. You have to tailor your visualization to your audience needs to ensure it's engaging and useful. Second point is simplify complexity. So while it's tempting to include as much data as possible, it's important to simplify visualization to make it easily understandable. Focus on the key insights and avoid clustering the visualization with unnecessary information. All right. The third point is interactivity. Your dashboard should have some interactivity such as tool tips, filters, drill down features, and so on for the user to gain deeper insights from your visualization. Then visual design. Pay attention to the visual design of your visualization. You should choose appropriate colors, fonts, layouts to make the visualization aesthetically pleasing. All right, and easy to read. Tell a story. You should use a visualization to tell a story or convey a message. Guide the user through the data to help them understand the insights and conclusions you want to communicate. So these are some important tips for data visualization and reporting. Now, as a result of this particular module, it's important that you learn how to create a dashboard in Google Sheets, and we've created one dashboard from our data VG sales. Your task is to replicate the dashboard, which is going to be your assignment for this week. All right, and once you put some charts together from the charts we've learned in previous lessons and the pivot tables, you put those one two together, you should be able to produce a dashboard that looks like this. All right, so this is the video game sales dashboard that's you expected to build. It's something very very simple. Just try as much as you can to keep it simple for so that it's not something complex and you're able to achieve this quickly. Okay, let's just tell a story from this dashboard. Let me just give a little presentation so you understand how to go about building yours. All right, so welcome to the video games dashboard built by Datafied. All right, on this dashboard, we have the platform and count of platform. All right, so these are different platforms of games that we have and the number of those platforms in our data sets. All right, so there are about 2,100 games developed on the DS platform, which is the highest number so far recorded in our data set. So this record here is collected in descending order, and we have this is the highest number of games, the platform that hosts a lot of games from our data set. And we have the least platform, which is GG and PCFX. Okay, so these are different games, number of games that have been created or designed on each of these platforms that were sold for from the store. Okay, from the store from which this data was gathered. Okay, and dashboard also shows the total sales for different regions. Okay, and a kind of comparison with the average. So the total sale for this region, NA sales, we have four about 4,000 sales in total for this region, NA sales, and that gave a very good, this is a good sale compared to the average global sales, which is there's an increase of 97.08%. Okay, and for EU sales, we have a total of about 2,000 sales, right? About 2,000 sales, which is a positive, increment compared to the global sales, the average global sales, and that is about 9.2% increase. So these different region sales were compared to the average global sales to see how they perform. All right, so over the period which this record was collected. Then total JP sales had about 1,000 sales, and that is a kind of poor sales compared to the total global sales, right? So which means that other regions, like these two regions, did far better than these other two regions. So these are other regions, which is 0.8. So it means that there are a lot of sales in the NA region, right? So the NA region had the highest sales, which is shown by these cards, and here's the global sales. The global sales is just the total sales for all four regions, all right? All four regions. Okay. With this, line charts, you can also see it again clearly that for the NA sales, there's an increment from 1980 down up to 2008, 2009. 2008 was the peak year where the highest sale was made. That is about 351. Okay, and the NA sales had the largest sales. It's only somewhere around to 1995, it had a drop. 1995, 93, and 94. 93 to 95, there were drops in the sales, NA sales, and at that point, the JP sales took over. Right, JP sales was higher than NA sales within those years, 93 to 95. But every other, okay, somewhere around 97, there was also a drop for the NA sales. But average, in total, uh, on an average, NA sales did far better and had a lot of sales compared to other regions, followed by the EU sales. EU sales had also fairly good, sales compared to other two. Then the other sales and JP sales are struggling to see which of the sales would perform better. So this tells us, or this shows us the different sales for these regions and how they performed over the years. So we need to know what went wrong for these sales to drop immediately after 2008. There was a decline for each of these regions, up to almost zero sales for uh, you know um, other regions, and very very tiny value for JP sales and the rest. Okay, so this chart, this line graph just shows us the trend of these sales for each of these region and comparing the four regions we have. All right. Next, okay, we compared just how many regions? Yes, four regions without adding the global sales. Okay, at the right part of my chart, my dashboard, we have the distribution by genre. So these are the different genre of games. with action being the highest number of game action games. We had a lot of action games from our collection which was sold, and we have about 1051, 1751 action games sold. So here is just the sum of games by genre. So we have the sport followed next, and the least sold genre type of game is genre game is strategy, which is about 175. Okay, so this is a distribution of the general games sold, for the period the data was collected. Now, if we want to focus more on which game, which type of or which genre, of game is being sold or will be possibly designed and sold, is the action game. If we want to take any decision, we might want to focus more on the action game. So this is a very, like I said again, a very simple dashboard that was put together here in Google Sheets. Let's see how to achieve this. Okay, let's see how to achieve this dashboard. I'll just give you a quick I'll show you how to do this. What I'm going to do is to create each of these single element. I'll create one of this card, okay, and allow you to go ahead and create others. All right, let me take this off full screen because currently it's on full screen. All right, so let's just go. So what you need to do is come to, after the VG sales data, click on your add sheet to add a new sheet. All right, let's call that sheet dashboard. Okay, so since we have a sheet called dashboard, I'll call this dashboard 2, right? So let me just call this sheet dashboard 1, and so I call the other one dashboard 2. All right, let's come here and have this sheet renamed as dashboard 2. All right, now that we have dashboard 2, the next thing is to go ahead and put up your cards, right? We want to insert a card. Go ahead and click on insert and click on chart. Then the chart editor at the right side of the pin will be displayed. Okay. The next thing you want to do, okay, I think I'll just keep this simple. Stop this recording here and have a second part where I'll show you how to create those charts so that it's not too long. All right, thank you for watching this, and I'll see you again in the next one. Goodbye.